Welcome back to another video by Deadly Pride, none other than me. Today we're going to be going over some of the stuff in the new Guild Wars 2 patch, Shadow in the Ice. I was pretty excited about it when it was first notified that it would be coming out. And so we're going to talk about that world boss and some of the story. We're not going to be doing much talking of the crafting and the masteries, just the story and the world boss. So let's get right to it. Okay, let's talk about that World Boss Drakkar. First, I've only done it once, and we didn't actually kill it. Fair warning, I actually have not downed the new World Boss. But I saw most of the fight, and I can comment about the fight and whether or not I enjoyed what I saw. There are actually mechanics you have to execute in the fight. Are they very punishing? I didn't run into them. I did see some people get downed to the tornadoes, but a lot of the mechanics seem fairly forgiving, but they are there. For example, you have to run underneath the boss's front to avoid some damage, AoE damage. He also has a cone you have to get out of. Other than that, we're pretty much stacked on to the right of the boss, damaging his paw just like we do with Takatl. Another thing that happens in the fight is you have to stack on Javi, who makes a barrier to protect you from damage. And then at some point, you have to run through these portals to go kill some mini-bosses to come back and continue to fight Drakkar. Now, they actually kind of tied that into the story. They mentioned that Drakkar is feeding off of some of the wild spirits, and that essentially going through these portals, you're killing whatever his protection from those spirits are, killing that so you're able to fight him and kill him. So overall, I will say this, that I really enjoyed what I saw in the world boss fight. There was also some ad phases that you needed to clean up, but for a world boss fight, it was probably the most enjoyable one I've ever seen from Guild Wars. Did we down the boss? No. You need a lot of DPS. That's what we lacked on our map, was the DPS. We didn't have the DPS. I was not set up for DPS. I was more set up for support, healing, because I like that role. Keep that in mind that it does seem to be a hard DPS check. Now, another thing that was commenting in the group after the fight was done is that it seems a little buggy where you're going to be stuck in combat for a while, so you can't port out, and the room is shut off. There is some stuff to do down there, but I didn't unlock the new masteries. But the world boss, once you're done, if you fail the fight, you're kind of locked down there, and you might have a bug where you're in combat, and there's also some Raven portals that if you don't have the masteries, you can't take. The next thing I want to talk about is the story. I've mentioned in previous videos, I've never really played Guild Wars 2 for the story. I didn't like the original vanilla story. They kind of drew me in with Scarlet, but I missed quite a bit of that story. And then Mordramoth was bleh. The whole Heart of Thorns was kind of bleh. And the Living World Season 2, I didn't really care for. So I kind of fell out of the story or never was really interested in the story. I've always been more like, let's just go out and have fun in the open world, which is what I love about Guild Wars 2. But I will say this. The current Living World season, Iceblood Saga, is actually getting me pretty interested. One, it's kind of doing some throwbacks to Guild Wars 1, and I like that. I mean, we see Eye of the North in latest episode. Small spoiler alert, but I'm not going to give you much on that. And it is kind of cool to go back and see stuff that you saw in Guild Wars 1. Also, they seem to be teasing that maybe we won't actually kill Jormag. I mean, I don't get my hopes up for that. I'm personally over killing the Elder Dragons because, I don't know, they've never been that interesting to kill. Like Zaitan, I had no invested interest in killing Zaitan. Krakatorrik, a little bit more with Krakatorrik because it kind of dates back to Destiny's Edge lore and story. But again, Aurine's storyline and Krakatorrik's storyline, kind of bleh. The only thing I really liked since probably Scarlet was the Joko storyline in Living World Season 4. I did like Path of Fire up until we fight Krakatorrik with Balthazar. I thought that was an interesting storyline in the game, but it kind of felt very similar to, I think it was Nightfall in Guild Wars 1 where we end up killing Abaddon. Okay, so it's like they kind of just took that and made it into Guild Wars 2, but I digress. The story has never really kept me interested. Right now, I'm pretty interested in what's going to happen next with all the Char, Bengar. Is Jormag really our nemesis? Is he trying to actually make peace? So I'm kind of interested in what's going to happen because I'm kind of done with killing all the Elder Dragons. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you liked it. If not, leave a comment below. I always like to hear the feedback. One of the questions I'd like to ask is, what did you think of the World Boss? What did you think of this latest patch, Shadow in the Ice? Did you like the map expansion? I didn't really go over that. Did you like the new masteries? I have not fiddled with them, but I know there's a bunch of Raven portals laying around. Yeah, so leave your thoughts below, and we'll see you next time.